Peace, what's going down? It's DJ Pain One here with a very special guest. It's one of the few interviews you've done, right?
Yes.
So when I say it's exclusive, I actually mean it this time. We got Xay Scott, a man who has a hell of a story and an equally crazy resume. Good afternoon, bro. How you doing?
I'm great, man. How you doing?
I can't complain. I ate a big brunch. So we won't get too much into your history because I know it's a new year and it's a new start. I just want to start with this quick question because, you know, nowadays I'd say producer collaboration has really increased. I mean, even me, I'm collaborating with producers across the world now. Obviously, the internet makes that easy, but I just think collaboration overall is just happening more frequently. A lot of us will collaborate with a producer here and there, but you've actually collaborated with a pretty high-profile producer time and time again. I'm referring to Lex Luger. How did that all come about?
Lex Luger. Actually, I was working with an artist, I want to say back in around 2014. His name is Nico. And he was actually doing an EP with Lex Luger. And it came down to a situation like every time we kept trying to link, it was happening. And long story short, we found out he was going to be at Webster Hall. And we just pulled up and I got to meet him. And that's basically how that relationship started. We didn't actually get officially in the studio though until the following year in 2015.
So what are some of the records that you produced with him during that time?
For the most part, I mean, the biggest one that's actually out right now is 7 a.m. by Lil Uzi Vert.
Did you link with Lil Uzi Vert, being that you're all kind of from the general?
No, actually, no. I collab with him. I sent a file that me and Lex Luger started to another producer, DP Beats, and he actually finished it up and sent it to Uzi. I actually didn't know the record was out until 3 weeks after it came out.
Do you think that's just kind of a consequence of the new way of releasing music, the whole mixtape as an album system?
I mean, kinda, sorta, but then I gotta put myself at fault for not being more diligent, you know what I mean, on keeping track of my record.
Let's get right into it, because we had a private conversation about what's happening with this 7 a.m. record. And
yes.
You know, if you're a Lil Uzi fan, you definitely know that record. A lot of people know it. I played it at clubs before. And I actually didn't realize that either you or Lex Luger were involved in the creation of that track for a long time. I just recently found out about it this year. It's on a mixtape. It's not on an official album, but obviously money's being generated from that track. I think a lot of people don't understand how that works. Producers, recording artists, they think, you know, if you release something for free, it's free. But we know that you can monetize a track in all different types of ways, especially now. I think now more than ever, there are different income streams that are generating money off of a song, whether or not it's released commercially or whether or not it's put on iTunes. It could just be put on YouTube or Spotify. Money's being made. So
yes.
You had to learn that, I guess, the hard way from this situation, correct?
Yes. Definitely. It's actually funny, Pain, because I mean, I originally, like, I'm a Lil Uzi Vert fan anyway, so it's like I've been trying to reach out to him since 2014. So it wasn't even a situation where I was even looking for money initially for the record. The producer DP Beats, he brought it to me. He was like, you know what I mean, what should be in my information and all that. I'm like, cool. Then come time, you know what I mean, how BMI has their scheduled payments. Around that time, because I reached out to him because, again, like you said, I was trying to monetize a record, like for streams, being that BMI, that takes a long time. So I hit him up. He giving me, you know what I mean, a run around. That had me suspicious. So I looked into it, and that's how I discovered the BMI repertoire. And I seen that he had completely omitted me and Lex from the splits and had a 50-50 split between him and Uzi. And that opened up a whole new can of worms with that situation. Let
me get this clear. So it was the track wasn't registered correctly. It didn't credit you and Lex Luger as composers on the publishing end.
Correct.
Were you still monetizing that track via Content ID?
I actually was, but I wasn't familiar, you know what I mean, with how the Content ID worked. I couldn't have it on multiple networks. So I was actually going over the Repost network from BeatStars, and that actually, you know what I mean, it led to like a whole dispute.
How did that work then with BMI? Because that's an entirely separate world.
But well, you see, with BMI, the struggle I was having with BMI, and it was driving me insane. I was calling up to their offices and stuff. At first, you know, I mean, I was initially getting ignored. I couldn't even get through to their office. And then when I finally did start getting in contact with people, I was being told I was false claiming the record. I didn't own rights to my record. Like, I needed some permission for my own record.